I liked that person, and now it's unclear what's happened to them. You feel kind of bad because they wanted to resist, but there was just
the overwhelming sense
of needing to belong to that larger group. And the thing is that even the minor characters have some kind of a flaw that, as as instrumentality is taking hold and trying to break down each person's AT field, they're able to pick one thing in that person's psyche that allows them to take the last piece.
Yeah.
For example,
Maya had Ritsuko, the lieutenant, what's his name, had Misato.
Right.
And I felt bad for the other bridge guy because it hinted at that he never got close to anyone, so all these rays just had to overpower him.
Right, yeah.
As he's going crazy.
And like Ritsuko's mother is the one who brings her back because they never got along. And then the strange thing about her is that even though she never really liked her mother, she still has to be the one who works the most closely with the three different aspects of her own mother as the computer system that's trying to keep these Avas from hacking into their system and stuff like that. So it's just kind of mind-blowing, I guess. I don't know.
Always felt bad for Unit 4.
Yeah?
Falling into the direct sea and not popping out like Shinji did.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I always wondered, why did they shoot everyone up at the end, though?
Because
wasn't it Seilei that shot everyone up, that ordered the troops in to kill everyone?
Yeah. Seilei told the Japanese government that they were trying to start instrumentality, and so the Japanese government sent the self-defense force.
Because Seilei at the very end got wind that they weren't going to follow the plan, exactly as they wanted it to.
And they decided to kill a bunch of innocent people in regards to that. No.
It was a little crazy how the army was just in there and they're just like, kill all civilians, torch them.
It was written by a crazy man.
Yeah, we went over this.
Not to mention he worked under Tomino Ano as they did Space Runaway Ideon, which pretty much cemented Kill 'Em All Tomino's nickname.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, did Hideki Anno actually make it after getting out of a mental institution, or did he end up getting committed to a mental institution because of it?
No, I think he was out,
or
but
both.
he relapsed a few times or started
He did
to
it while he
relapse.
was in the
I think End of Evangelion was made from the institution in a relapse. I think, if I remember right.
Oh, maybe End of Evening.
I think, and if anyone remembers the old...
The original cells were on toilet paper.
If anyone
Original
remembers...
Productions.
If anyone remembers that old anime magazine before New Type and America, I remembered an article right after the original series completed where Tiffany Grant, Asuka's English language voice, was quoted as saying she heard that Hideki Anno, after making End of Evangelion, shaved all the hair off his body.
Weird.
That's kind of weird. I do that.
I do that.
It makes me more aerodynamic.
Wasn't there the video of him standing on top of the playground equipment?
What's
and,
that?
Wasn't there a video of Anno standing on top of like some playground equipment, like doing some interpretive dance or something? I remember seeing that somewhere.
What?
Well, they do kind of go into that a little bit. Like
YouTube.
They use. Oh gosh. Let's see if I can find this.
2 minutes.
Oh, is it?
Okay, let's put it this way. Hideki Anno's kind of weird, and Shinji's the basis of his personality.
Oh, look, he's teaching animation to kids.
Well, and what's funny about this article here is that originally Evangelion was in a children's time slot in Japan, but because, like you were saying, it was possibly inspired by the period of depression that he experienced for 4 years. He felt that yes, little children should be exposed to the harsh realities of life at as early an age as possible, so that they can know how to deal with it in the future or
While
whatever.
they're toddlers.
And then they finally got to the second half of it, and the networks came to their senses, right?
Yeah,
I hope.
They moved it to a later time slot because the kids were like, "Mommy, I don't want to watch this." So they changed the channel, and it was getting terrible ratings at the children's time slot. The moment they moved it to the adult time slot, everybody loved it.
Sort of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's a kids movie until it gets later.
And I think it's so much better for those reasons, because at first you're kind of like, oh, this is cool, giant robots blowing stuff up. And then you kind of start figuring out that every single person has these issues, and there's like so much depth to the whole plot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and it's unfortunate. It's like if we only knew everything there was to know, because like for example, Star Wars, how big is the canon? You could find out everything you ever wanted to know about Star Wars. I mean, for example, the scene with the bounty hunters in Episode 5. There's a novel. What's that?
IG-88.
Yeah,
Bob.
exactly. There's that novel that's like this thick that has a short story centered around each individual one of those characters.
And actually, there's tons of bonus material. The problem is most of it is a Japan-only release for Evangelion.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
and they're making video games or like I want to play. I need to learn Japanese so I can.
What's
Oh,
that?
you mean like Girlfriend to Steal or something?
Yeah, for the PSP.
No.
But only in Japan, right?
Only Japan. You could probably get a novel of it though.
Yeah.
I've read some partially translated documents. It's interesting because it gets into detail about what the heck is up with both the Adam and the Lilith type beings, how they came about, how they both end up on Earth.
Right, and like for example, because something they always say is each angel is what humanity could have been but wasn't.
Yeah.
Like in what way? You know, like,
Well, the White Moon, where the Adam-based life forms came in, and the Black Moon weren't intended to be on the same planet. There was this protoculture-like race, referencing Macross, that they kind of spread these seeds, the moons, throughout the galaxy.
There was a girl riding on some guy.
It's like,
What the hell's going on out there? It's over now.
And so both of them accidentally.
Wait a
ended
minute,
up
family
on Earth.
friendly. What do you mean?
Actually, if you
Not
read
that way.
H.P. Lovecraft, that was another influence on Evangelion. And H.P. Lovecraft himself wasn't the most sane guy either.
honestly, who is though?
True.
I mean, just
That's kind of like the whole point of Evangelion.
But yeah, that's a big part of the point. Or like, just think, no matter how much willpower any of us feel that we have, would we be able to resist instrumentality? Probably not, because there's going to be like people from the past or people we looked up to who are telling us like, yeah, you can give up, it's no big deal, it's going to be fine, it'll be much better if you give up.
You look like Kane.
Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock, I gotta go.
All right, have fun.
Oh, it is.
Stuff. It is 8 o'clock. You guys gonna go dancing? Masquerade time, you guys.
Talk about crazy people dancing. Crazy people dancing.
Dancing with crazy people.
Ooh,
Dancing
like a
with
reality
crazy
They're
show.
already dancing out there.
I'd watch that.
Oh yeah, Katsuragi was like all up into dancing with Shinji. She totally would have if she hadn't died. If she hadn't got blown up.
No, I think she kissed him just to
That was an
make him feel
adult
better.
kiss.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Still.
Actually.
Make herself feel a little better too.
You're like,
I
this is
think
weird,
it was mostly a
but
selfless act.
Kaji's dead. But I mean, kind of a nice thing is that even though or a couple people died before instrumentality happened, the fact that instrumentality happened meant that their AT fields were totally gone and they were just open games. So it was entirely possible for them to return, I feel, because they were there.
Like Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar returned. Well, you know, she's the only one we know of that returned
Yeah.
because they're the only two humans on Earth at that time, and then he tries to kill her.
It's interesting. I was reading an article that pointed it out. When Shinji made the crosses, in the tombstone markers,
Uh-huh.
they look a bit rusted and old. So we don't really know how long Shinji was there laying on the beach before someone else came along.
Which could be why he tried to strangle Asuka, wouldn't you?
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Wasn't that in
That
more
and
of
the whole thing
a,
was probably really traumatic.
wasn't when he was trying to strangle Asuka in the collective subconscious and not in the actual world?
Well, that was the actual.
No, that was the actual
Both.
world.
Yeah,
both.
When his personality resolved, he, snapped his AT field back on, resolved back into a person for the second time, because he's cool like that, I guess.
It's Shinji.
Yeah. And then just like I love the way that ends because even End of Evangelion, like sure it answers a ton of questions, but at the same time you're still not 100% sure what just happened.
Then it raises more.
What?
Then it just raises more.
Yeah, it kind of raises more. But I just love the way he like tries to kill her, and then when he gives up on killing her, she's like, "You're pathetic." End. It's just like so intense.
And they're so like tired and out of it, you don't know what exact tone she was speaking in. And heck, I've even heard, depending on the translation, it could sound like she's saying like, "I feel sick."
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've read that.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, like to figure that one out, you kind of there's weird things between Japanese and English that will convince people to translate stuff in different ways, and really
That's why fans out there fun.
well.